with another little Sam Poole design team project. This one's a little bit different. It's not a finished journal. It's more under the heading of supplies or being prepared when you're making journals. But I saw this idea on Shabby Dabby Doodah from Tina. Had this great idea about 9 months ago of making what she called a cluster book. And I just was so drawn to the idea. I thought, oh, that is so perfect, because when I'm making journals, so many times I stop and I spend hours trying to make little bits of ephemera, and I thought this was just a perfect idea to have some ready-made items to just put into a journal to finish it off. Now, I've made this cluster book look pretty with a bow and of some chiffon ribbon, but I am going to show you how it works. I'm going to take off the pretty ribbon, and then I'm going to make a few in a start of a new cluster book. I'm going to make a few new ones, and actually I'm going to rip that one up a little bit so you can see how easy it would be to be able to use these. So this is a little book. The clusters are made on one side, and then the back side is lined with some pretty tea-stained paper, and all the clusters are neatly in like groups of 4 on each page. And I can't tell you how much fun I had making this book. And I also want to say, when I was watching Tina's videos, she said it was going to be really hard for her to part with her clusters. Well, I'm having the same problem, but let me show some of them up close just so you can get an idea of what I've done with them. These are all made, with the exception of the laces and the tea-stained paper. They're all made with 100% Sam Poole digitals that I have used. Turn it, and I would say this page in particular was what sort of made me think about making this cluster book. I'm preparing to make a journal using a couple of Sam Poole's digitals that I've just been dying to use, and these clusters will be perfect to go in that journal if all goes to plan. But I will use all of these if I can bring myself to rip them from the book. I did use pictures from her My Collection. These pictures come from the 4 pictures that are schoolyard pictures, school class pictures, and I have used some of my favorites. For instance, this is one of my favorite pictures right here. And yeah, I've had so much fun making this. And here's more of those schoolyard pictures, class pictures. I know I'm wiggling around here. I'm trying to get a good look at them. But I have just really made some really fun little clusters. And here's some more. I think this one has turned out to be, I think, my favorite cluster. This one right here. I just really love them. And what I used some of her labels. This right here is a cutout from Sepia Couture, or is it Noir? I can never remember. But so yeah, and the way the book works, this particular book, I did make the clusters on the front and the back, but in thinking about it, I decided to make a new book, and that's what I'm going to show you here. We're going to have a little craft along with me. And in this little book that I made, I just took 2 pieces of, and I printed these on 110-pound cardstock, and these are the cabinet cards that Sam has. I love these cabinet cards. I actually use them quite a lot. They are perfect for if you have cabinet cards of your own that you want to copy and make look like real original cabinet cards. They're perfect for the backs of your copies of pictures. This is one of my favorite. I'll put it in the description box. It's either Sepia Couture or Noir. I love that. But anyway, what I'm going to do right now is I have prepared some cluster making supplies. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay out these cluster making supplies on my, I'm going to start with these pink ones. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some glue and I'm just going to glue down the first layer like this. And you know, this would be a really fun gift for a fellow junk journal friend to make a cluster book and send it to them, because who doesn't love clusters? I love them, and I've always made them sort of without official cluster knowledge, just sort of intuitively. And as I said, I would be going along making a journal and then have to stop for 2 days to make some ephemera. So here's the papers that I have for this side of the book. And what I did was I prepared. Now, I did prepare for this because when I was actually making my cluster book, I just was doing it. I had pages that I printed off both on cardstock and on nice 24-pound paper. But I decided I couldn't spend all the time that I'd spent, because I've been making this for 5 days. So I just decided I had to do some preparation. So indeed, that is what I did. So here we have the 4, on each page, the 4 cluster starts. And these, as you can see, are sort of a pale pink. And these are neutral colors, a tea stain paper. So what I did was, for instance, for my tea stain paper one, I started out with some music paper. I'm going to put that up there. And these birds I was going to put on there like that. And this, I love this girl. She's new from the honeybee kit. I'm obsessed with her. I think she's going to become one of those ones that I use all the time. And then here is, this is from the Lazy Days kit. And I am going to take my favorite flower and this sweet, no, this is from In the Meadow. This girl is from In the Meadow. This is from Lazy Days, just so you'll know. And here's some bits from another kit. And I am going to, I've got here a selection of papers that I have torn off. I'm going to put them over there, and I'm going to first work on my these are from the medieval, and the this is from In the Meadow, but this, I'm working on some to go into a journal that's going to match in the woodland and the honeybee kits. But here we go. That's pretty. See, this is harder than you think to do this on the fly. Get that going. I think I'm just going to work with this side right now, and I'm going to work with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first just glue down some of the starter bits, a little bit of music, and this lovely young woman who I love. Take that off of there. But I just think this is the funnest idea, and it is a great traveling thing to do for junk journaling. Like, for instance, say you're on vacation, you're doing a road trip, you're staying in hotels, or you're going to your family cabin. This is so easy to take in a bag, just some some bits and pieces and just be working on them while you're on vacation. I can totally see myself doing this because if you're like me, you go a little crazy if you're on vacation and you can't do a little paper something. It's the last time I went on vacation to my family cottage, I didn't take anything. I said to myself, oh, I'm really going to take a vacation and I'm not going to do junk journaling while I'm on vacation. Well, that lasted exactly one day. And then I went to Walmart, and that was my year of what can you make when you go to Walmart vacation. And I bought fabrics and threads, a little pair of scissors, and I made covers for my little she journals. I just I could not stand it. I just had to make something. Now this one, I think I'm going to put something under it. I'm going to rip it a little bit, and then I'm going to stain it a little bit. I'm going to do a little staining on it. And I think I'm going to put this one right here. But this is just such a fun project. And like I said, you're going to make these and then you're going to not want to give them up. I'm using some heavier glue on this. I love this image. It's so pretty. I'm going to use some of this glue because this is on cardstock. I did make that one on cardstock, so it is a little bit heavier. And I'm going to stick that right up there like that. There we go. Let's see. Now I have this picture. This is also from the, I don't think it's Honeybee. I think this is from the Portrait des Femmes, the new kit she made. And I just love that. I think I'm just going to sort of rough up the edges a little bit. And then I'm going to use her as I'm going to crinkle it up a little. Yeah, like that. And then I'm going to stain it. But I have had so much fun. I've spent the last, oh, I like that. I like that a lot. I've spent the last 5 days making my cluster book on my lap at night, sort of trying out my theory of doing it while you're on vacation. Oh, I like that. Let me see. How could I use this one? I don't know. Let me see if I could do this. Take it. Let me stain it. This is the problem with doing these craft with these. You get all sort of concentrating on what you're doing. Oh yeah, I like that right there, like that. So I can use a glue stick to stick that down. But I finished up my book and I thought to myself, my original intention was to show you my cluster book and to start ripping it to shreds. And then I thought, I just can't do that. I cannot do that. So I'm going to finish up one page so that I can rip one of them to shreds. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take these honeybees like this. And I'm going to take some of this music. This music is from French Creams. I use this sheet music all the time. It's the one that says number 2 at the top. I love this one. I just love it. I use it all the time. And this is how you start making a mess. And I, of course, was going to keep it contained, and it became this, it had a life of its own. It quickly became uncontained. And let me see. Oh, there's the one I was going to use. I like that one right there. I'll put that on there like that. And then I want to get a focal point. Oh, it's the wrong way. I do that like that. There. All right. So now I want to get some kind of a focal point for the, oh, I know. There's a lady in here I want to use that I specifically cut out for the purpose. This lady. I love her. Oh, and I love that thing too. I love that. I wonder if I want to. So I'm going to take her and I'm going to rip her a little bit more. She's kind of big. Yeah, I'm going to have to tear her down. Let's see. I don't want to rip her head off. There, make her like that. And these ladies have a very, to me, I'm taking that off. I don't like that. These ladies have a very medieval feel to me. I really, these two, this lady and that lady. And Sam's kit that's called Woodland is my goal. I'm working myself towards the goal of turning that into a really nice journal. Oh, I like that. I like her like that. Okay, so then the other thing that I've got that I used in my other ones is I have these special papers. I did buy just a little selection of these on Amazon just to see what they were like. Now, I love them, but there's not very many in a pack. I mean, but they weren't very much. They were only like, you know, $14, and I got quite a few. So beggars can't be choosers. But I love this paper. For instance, the one that I'm using right now, I wish I had a yard of it, but I don't. I only have, oh, that's kind of neat with the bee, sort of like honeycomb. Okay, and this is the other thing I do. I glue them down and then I pull them up so that I can glue something else down on top of it. Like that, like that. And then I have in my little, I have a little lace bowl right here. I have some rickrack. I have this lace that would be very pretty right there. In fact, I'm going to put that lace right there. And I'm going to just stick it under here like this. I have to tell you, when I do this on my lap, it takes me probably an hour to come up with the idea to put the lace under there like that. I'm not going to lie. I'm doing this sort of fast. But I would love to know in the comments whether or not this idea appeals to you, this cluster book idea. It just really appealed to me, especially the vacation aspect. My last vacation that I went on, the one I went on last summer, I did take a bunch of supplies, and that's when I made my little pink lemonade book, primarily on my lap in the hotel room. And it was like one of my best vacations ever. Making crafting in the hotel room. Let's see. And here's a little piece of linen. Oh, I like that. I like that right there. I'm going to put that right there. But the book I made, the one that I showed at the beginning, it has, I think, 32 total, or 36 total clusters in it, which is a lot of clusters to have ready to just go at any time. Oh, I like that too, right there. Oh, I like that right there. In fact, I spent one weekend making clusters for a journal that I was working on, and I tell you what, I spent a lot of time trying to come up with those. And if you just had them all ready to go in a book, it would certainly be advantageous. Now these are some coffee filter ruffles, and they look good just snuggled up under here like that. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of tidy up my supplies over here because I'm sort of in a mess already, and I'm going to turn off the camera for a bit, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you what I've come up with cluster-wise. So I will be right back. Okay, I have loaded these up, and it's not all glued down because I wanted to show you how I was going to do what. But so I've got that lace right there. I've got this great Paris word, and I am using some of my foam tape to sort of give some of the, I'm just sort of a person that loves the look of a 3D kind of presentation. So I am going to stick that on there like that. And then I've got memoir all ready to go. I'm going to stick that on there like that. Okay, and then this, I think, let's see, let's do this one. I've got this one, Mademoiselle, sort of ready to go like that. And then she needs to be stuck down. Now I've got this nice piece of glue that I've got, and I'm just going to put glue all over her, and then I'm just going to stick it down because the lace should adhere through the holes in the lace. And then I've got this blouse pins. I love this. This is words from the Portraits Les Femmes. Oh, I just love this. I keep using this blouse pins. I don't know why I love it so much, but I just do. So I'm going to take some of my foam tape, and I'm going to stick it on the back of the blouse pins like that, and stick it down. Okay, I'm going to get that off. Okay, like that. I'm going to move this around a little bit. It's a little crooked. So there, blouse pins. There we go. All right, and then I have this pink tag that says, this is from the snippets, which I have stated before I consider to be one of my essentials from Sam's kits. I always have snippets laying around, and I literally did have those laying around. Grabbed them and just snipped it off. So I'm fixing up that Paris perfume. That'll be pretty right there. Okay. Now, I'm not sure I want to do that, the whole thing. I think I might just do portraits. I think I will just do portraits. I'm just going to snip off a little of my foam tape. Put it on there. Let's see. Because I want to be able to show you what the ultimate, ooh, that's a pretty button. I'm trying to decide if I want that button or that button. Well, I'll think about that. I'm first going to work on these bees over here. So I love this administration, you know, they're doing the bee work, and I love this little snippet of lace. It's reminded me of honey for some reason, because it's a sort of a honeycomb color. And this is actually a piece of bookbinding. I keep bookbinding. I actually use it on journals with spines to stiffen the spines. I love it. But I also use it for decor. I just find it's really very, it has a lot of texture, and I just love the way it looks. And I have this really pretty old button. I don't know, this is a button, I guess, but it doesn't have holes. So I'm wondering if it broke, if it's part of a button that broke, but it'll be perfect on here like that on the bee. And then I have this lady down here who I love, this little piece of lace. It's a really sweet, that's an old bit of lace. I'm not as prone to using really old bits of lace on things like this, but there was a large chunk of that lace, so I feel like I can just go ahead and take a tiny snippet and use it for these clusters, which I do like the way they're turning out. And this is a number from the snippets. I don't know why 38 just appeals to me. It just does. I'm gonna put it right there. There. And then I have this ruffle right here that I'm gonna put under my birds. like that. And then I had this other piece of lace. I put down a piece of linen here, but I like the way this other piece of lace kind of looks on top of it, like it's part of their nest almost. I love these two birds. They come from the in the meadow. That's a really sweet kit as well. I can't decide if I want that button there or not. Let's see. Is everything stuck down? No, I'm going to stick this little ruffle under here. Even though that London is very cool. Do I want to expose that London? Oh, I kind of like that. Oh, I do like that. Maybe I can't decide if I'm going to do that or that. Oh, it's a quandary. Oh no, I didn't expect that to happen. And then I'm going to put the word famille here because of the birds. And I do have this other, I wonder if that's going to be too fat. It might be too fat. Let's see if it'll look okay. That's okay. And then I have this lace that looks sort of like honeycomb that I'm going to put under the bees right here, like this. Just stick it up under there. There. This is kind of crooked. This is going to drive me a little bit crazy. So I'm going to leave that there, and then I'm going to take the glue and glue it back on so it's not so crooked. There. That's nice. Okay, so that needs a ruffle under there, doesn't it? Maybe I should put this ruffle under there and leave my London. I do, I like that London. I'm taking that, I'm gonna rip that off. I like that. And then what I could do with this one, I'll show you. We'll work on her in a bit. We'll put this ruffle under this lady right here, like this. And we'll see how it comes out. There we go. Ruffle it up. There we go. This one needs a little work too. Some of these though, as I'm about to show you, you would be able to fix. Now I'm thinking, I wonder if this would look good right here, like that. That's kind of nice. Or I have this little bit of eyelet. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I don't know. I'm going to work on her later. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take these off and show you the actual purpose of this book. Okay, so let me put my pin back in my glue. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to just cut them apart. And then I'm going to rip it out right off the sewing. Okay, and then I'm going to rip it down the middle. There we go. So there we have the snippets, and then you can take these top parts, give it a little start, and rip it like that. You see what I'm doing? And then you can take this part and rip this just a little bit, the edges. And so there you have one, and here's the other one. This lady that I love, this lady. I think I want to do some more to this one, but I'm not sure what I want to do to her. I know, I just thought of something. Hang with me just a minute here. I'm going to rip this down, get it going. Let me see. See if I can do this. It's a little further over than I wanted, but it's okay. I'm gonna ink it up a little. So actually you could add an edge to this like that. That would be pretty. That you could sew down. I could sew that. I think I will do that in a bit. But my other thought was to take, I have a big pile of little mica bits from all my little micas that I haven't, and I could add it to her. Let's see. Oh, I like that. Over her, right like that. Oh, I like that. That's perfect. Get some glue. Put it right on there. It dries pretty clear, so you really can't see it once you get it on there. It's there. Can you see what I did with her? She has sort of a glistening kind of effect. And then I think she needs a button. But is it that button or, oops, is it this button? Oh, I think it's that button. Yeah. So I'm gonna just put that button right there. So you can see that if you did indeed make an entire book of these, this is just a small book. I only used 2 pieces of cardstock rather than the 4 I used for my bigger book. If you do make a whole book of these, when you're ready to use them, you just tear them out, cut them down the middle like that, tear them out, and there you've got your clusters. And once they're detached, you can do even more to them. For instance, you can add edges like that one. Oh, I like that one right there. I'm gonna put that on. You can add edges, you can add under ruffles, you could stamp them. I was gonna put some stamps on mine, but on the backs of the books. Oh, that's pretty. Oops, if I can get it to stick down. But there's just so many possibilities, and you've just had so much fun. Or you can just keep your cluster book and get it out from time to time and gaze at it because you've had so much fun and you've made such pretty clusters. You can do that too. But what do you think? Does this one need a button? I've got buttons. Or do we need number 3? I like that too. What other words do I have? Petite? No. Number 204? No, I think I'll put a, what about that button? That's kind of pretty. Yeah, that is pretty. I think I'll do that button. So anyway, guys, this was my little improv Sam Poole design team project for this week. Next time I hope to have a whole journal, and maybe you'll see some of these clusters in my journal. But let me know what you think of a cluster book as an idea. It's really, all I can say is it's really super fun to make. I had a lot of fun making it. So that's it. I hope everyone is well and happy and crafting. And oh, and I did want to say, I wanted to add this. The other great purpose of these cluster books, especially if you're on several design teams, you could take your different designers and make cluster books that are just unique to those designers, so that you know when you're making a design team project, you're taking clusters that are maybe even 100% that particular designer to feature what you can do with their material. So thanks everybody, and hi and hello, and happy end of January, and we're about to be in February. I can't even believe it. And actually this is going to show on February 1st, which is just crazy. crazy. So thanks everyone. Take care, and I hope to see you all making great videos soon. Bye.